What's up, guys? Rendering a video, so figured it's a good enough time to do another talk. Um, well, we survived about a week and change under this quarantine. Hopefully, you guys are doing as well as I think I am. I mean, things can always change. This thing has been moving pretty quickly, but one of the main things that I think has left me with instead of sometimes a life of doom and gloom or a life or the thoughts of like everything's changing, the world's changing, um, is for me is I went right back into schedule mode. Things have changed exactly. Had to rewrite my schedule, change things up a little bit. As you guys who are members can see that sometimes that our classes are a little bit different when we're doing stuff online. But regardless, is putting myself back on a schedule. I remember back when way back. When I decided to go out on my own, and at the time I was doing web and graphic design and art director. And when I first started off working for myself, of course, not have any money, so you work from home. And it took me about 2 to 3 months to figure out, like, why am I not as productive as I was? Well, I had picked up some bad habits that I thought that, working from home was going to be easier. And I figured out that these things that weren't working for me. For example, I would get up, I would stay in my clothes that I slept in, or whatever. Yes, I would wash up, clean up. But if I slept in a t-shirt or some shorts, and then I go sit down in front of the computer and start working, I saw myself working a lot slower. You know, I didn't have a morning routine that put me in the frame of mind to work. So a lot of times I would get up early, I would start working at 8, 9, and I would not get anything accomplished until like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it just goes to show, because what I was used to that routine of getting up, taking a shower, changing clothes, driving. At the time, I really didn't drink coffee, so I would make a stop and grab a smoothie. There were times I would still work out in the mornings, but I used to have that routine and set that up, and then go into the office, and then from there, you're productive, you're on point, you're moving and grooving. Well, after 2 to 3 months of working on my own, figuring out like I am so behind on all my projects, like what the hell is going on, and finally just had to take a look. So without knowing and calling it a morning routine, I had to put myself on a routine, or basically on a schedule. So I would wake up at the same time every day. This is where I got that routine of waking up at the same time every day. It doesn't matter if it's if it's a weekday or weekend, I kept the same time frame of waking up. And I put myself into, and it's not such a rigid structure, but I had to do these things first for me and for my my mentality to say, okay, it's game time, it's on, it's time to get stuff done. So it was waking up, it was taking a shower, or even if I didn't take a shower, like if I took a shower the night before or whatever, I would change clothes. I would change my clothes as if I was going out to work. And that made a big difference for me. I would actually, I did shower in the morning because I would get up and work out first. I put myself back on a schedule. I used to run. That was when I was fighting a lot more, so I used to make sure I got in my 2 to 3 miles first thing in the morning. Made a protein shake afterwards, took a shower, put my clothes on, and walk 10 feet from my bedroom to my office space, sit down, and all of a sudden, I was getting stuff done. I was finishing early. I felt so accomplished because, it was game on. So I know a lot of people, you guys are enjoying the love of staying at home and hanging around your kids, but I think next week it starts to kick back in where the kids are back in school, even though they're online. Hopefully you guys have started to work out a schedule, because I know a lot of you guys who are home are working from home as well too. So you're going to have to put yourself and your kids on a schedule. It has to be a little bit different than what it is during a normal, if we do have a new normal, going back to it. But you're going to have to fix that schedule. That's going to be something that's going to work for both of you, and that's going to be productive. If you're solo, same deal. You still got to put yourself on a schedule. Doesn't matter what it is that you're doing, because what you're going to find happening is that you'll start to fall behind. In actuality, what I figured out was when I had that schedule going, I was actually more productive working from home than I was working in the office. And it came down to just having that structure. I even structured or put in my lunch breaks. So I would make sure I take time to do this. I would take time to do that. I really did kind of go back and break down my office time and what I would do at the office time. when I was working with members, there was one friend who smoked cigarettes. So I didn't smoke, but I would take a smoke break with him. So I implemented that. I would between like 10:30 and 10:45, I would get up and walk outside for 15 minutes and then walk back in and then boom, 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 boom. Put in the lunch breaks that I needed. And I always stuck to that structure and I stuck to that schedule. And that's what made me, successful when I was doing that as my business back then. And I find that once things have switched here, I fell back into that same routine, analyze what it is that I have to get done now. There was a lot of changes. I, was putting in a lot more hours as far as it goes here, but I still had that morning structure, that morning time frame. If you guys notice, I always come in, I still have my John Wayne shirt on, I put on my uniform. Now, I really don't eat breakfast much. I usually wait till about noon to eat, but I still have a morning routine. Get up, do my push-ups, do a workout, etc., etc., etc. I have to do all these things and still keep myself on a structure so that I know that, or not I know that, but it puts my body into that sense of that I've got work to do. I'm not going to lollygag around all day. I don't know if you guys are like me, but if I don't get up at my usual time, I tend to be very unproductive that day. So if I have a weekend, if I don't get up at my normal 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. and I wait till 9, 10 o'clock to get up, or to get out of bed, I know it's not going to be a day of production. It is probably just going to be a mental day or a mental break for me. And during the weekday, if it's even half an hour later, I have the same problem. It kind of throws me into a loop. I feel like I'm playing catch up with the rest of my day. I'm not ahead of the curve, and I always like being ahead of the curve. I like being in front of things. It's easier to operate from that sense than it is to play catch up because, my God, it just adds to the stress. When I feel like I'm behind on things, I don't know if you guys are like me, but when I feel like I'm behind on things or I'm cramming to get this done or I'm late, it just adds to more stress. And like I said, that's why I like being in front of the curve, because it's a less stressful way of getting things done. I am in control of my own destiny in that sense, or what I feel like, and that's just what works for me. So hopefully you guys take this into account. Definitely use that scheduler or put yourself on a schedule if you have to set multiple alarms on your phone or on your calendar, whatever it takes to get it in, guys. Make sure you guys, I think scheduling a routine, and it's not just going to benefit you, especially if you have kids in the house, putting them back on a routine, guys, it is going to be your saving grace. If you have kids kind of staying up whenever they want to or going to bed late, waking up later, etc., 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 it's going to be like trying to get them back in the routine. It's going to be like trying to move like dried concrete or something. So get them on a schedule, get them used to it, get them working. You're going to see that they're probably going to work a lot better. They might get their homework and all their schoolwork done a lot sooner, and then they can sit down and play video games, or they should be training and getting some physical stuff in. Even though we are, quarantine or censored, there's still outdoor spaces, guys. Put them in the backyard, have them do some stuff, let them burn off some energy, get them physical, put them in class. We still have our classes going on. Anything to get them ready, but keep that schedule, guys, and you guys are going to see you're going to have a very, very successful homework life, and who knows, that might become your new normal. Anyway, guys, that's it for my talk today. My video is almost done rendering, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.